Hey, this is Val Selby, and after over 20 years online, I can track where my mindset has blocked me. If procrastination, imposter syndrome, and a lack of focus have been blocking your biz, then Val Full Volume is here to help you see choices you are making. Get ready to use your expertise to collaborate like a pro as you create the business of your dreams. Now is the time to make changes and live your best life. Let's get to it. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Out Full Volume. Yes, feeling better, a little bit better. Light at the end of the tunnel. I can see it. Got some health stuff that's getting taken care of. So I'm getting some energy, which means the squirrels aren't so bad. So I hope you're not going to be disappointed. I don't think the squirrels are going to be out that much today. So sorry, I know if you're here for the squirrels, I'll probably find one or two, but I don't think you're going to get the mass herd of squirrels that was in my last solo episode. Who knows? Yeah, might. We'll just have to wait and see. No, today I just got off 2 coaching calls, and I've got another client that's in the middle of a launch right now for a bundle, and the energy coming from these women that I'm working with is so awesome. And they're testing my brain, and I love it. And I'm just going to pat myself on the back because one of the things that I'm really loving, I've had all this self growth going on, right? But one of the things I'm loving is the fact that I have lost the need to tell anybody exactly how they should run their business. That uncoaching process, I think I might have totally hit it with the uncoaching of, nope, this is the way I was taught to do it. This is the way we do it. Total bullshit. I'm not running my businesses anything like I was taught you have to do anymore. Bits and pieces, absolutely. Of course, I've picked up information from people, and I'm keeping the information that's working for me. And that's what I want for my clients. So sitting there and talking and hearing them do something, processing it much quicker than I used to, and realizing that the bullshit's about ready to pop out of my mouth and pop out of my brain, and just sitting there for a second and going, okay, so let's work through how you want to do this. And let's work through what will work for you, because I mean, these are people I've already known for a while. I know them well. I know how their brain processes. They're working with me because the process is similar to mine, right? So let's be honest. So working through it and just sitting there going, okay, I'm going to ask them the questions, help them work through the process, and simplify. That's the whole thing that I'm loving today is I've gone through with my clients, and I'm just like, I was sitting there and I can feel the overwhelm. I am empathetic. There's me acknowledging it. I don't want to be, but I am. And there's not much that you can do to stop that when you are. So I pull the energy. I could feel the energy. I didn't pull the energy this time. That's a huge difference for me. It's usually, I mean, that's part of the squirrels. It's like, okay, you got squirrels. I'm pulling your squirrels. They can join with my squirrels. All of our squirrels will have a party inside my brain. And I didn't do that today. And you know what? Oh my God, the sessions were so good. So good because of it. Because I was just sitting here going, all right, I'm not pulling in their energy. I'm feeling it. I totally understand what this energy is going on, because they're circling and they're like this and this and this, and there's so much to do. And one of my clients, even at the end, we ended up not having the end of the conversation at that point, because at the end, she's like, I know I've got so much to do. So I go, whoa. That's not how we're ending this call. I'm like, you do not have so much to do. I'm like, we came up with your plan for action, and you have this, and you have this. The end. And then we'll meet again when those are done, and we'll go on to the next thing. You don't have So much to do. And I'm telling her, I'm like, that's why you're working with me. I said, because I get that. And I get that self-sabotage of overloading and, oh my God, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. I want to spin in my chair. No, I'm not. I'm going to go watch Netflix. That's my self-sabotage as well. So simple, simple. I'm having a blast going back to simple. I even am working on that. I mean, this year, that's my motto for the year is back to basics. And gosh, I'm finding it in email conversations. Like people just keep coming to me and they're like, I'm so overloaded. I'm so overwhelmed. And I'm like, okay, let's look at that. I'm like, you need to sit down and you need to figure out what's overwhelming you. Start ditching that shit. What's overwhelming you? Because if it's overwhelming you, there's usually two things. One, maybe there's more than two. I shouldn't say two. Two things that pop immediately in my head are one, you don't want to do it. Two, maybe you don't know how to do it and you've got to go and learn how to do it. And you're like, oh, I don't want to add that because then I got to go learn something new, blah, blah, blah. Those are two main things. So the breaking down that you don't want to do it, that can be two different things. Maybe you don't want to do it because you just don't want to do it. You're like, that looks like work. I just don't even want to do it. You might not want to be doing it also because it's just not the direction you want to go. It doesn't feel right. You're doing it because you think that this will make money and you should do it. So take a look at those things that are overwhelming you. What is overwhelming you? Ditch it. Ditch it. Something's wrong with it. That's why it's overwhelming you. Pay attention. There are a million and one ways, maybe a zillion and one ways. I don't even know how much a zillion is, but I like zillion. There's no one way to run business. There's no one way to run your business in the future either. So like even right now, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is working for me right now. 6 months down the road, when I evaluate, it might not be working anymore. Things change. I mean, things change that fast, right? They change that fast online. I change that fast. I go through growth. I could have totally changed and I don't want to do whatever X that way anymore. I want to do it like A. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of having our business is we get to change. We get to do things our way. That's also the scary part. Because if you're doing things your way, this one I know for truth and fact, because this was the one I loved to use. This as my excuse why things failed. Well, I did it the way they told me and it didn't work for me. So that's why everything failed. Now, if you start doing business your way, you don't have that other person to blame. You don't have that system to blame. You have to take full responsibility for it working or not working. So once you start processing that, it's beautiful. It's beautiful because not everything's going to work. Not everything works for anybody or any corporation. It doesn't matter what marketing heads they have, the CEOs they have, doesn't matter. Not every idea or every marketing way to market or not any idea whatsoever is going to be a hit. And the sooner we get through that in our brain, the sooner we start trying things as when we will figure out what's going to work or what we want to do. Experiment. Business is all an experiment. Sure, there's processes that, yes, definitely do this and this and this kind of thing. But everything's an experiment to see what you're going to like, what your market's going to like, and how it's going to fit for you, which is a big deal. So one of the things that I have definitely learned is it doesn't matter how much you tell me, I have to do this a certain way. If I don't like doing it, of course, I'm not going to do it, right? It doesn't feel right. I don't like it. Versus if I go and find ways that I'm going to like doing things, like all of a sudden I just started adding the lives to Facebook, which is going to be a whole nother topic since Facebook's taking away the third-party apps in the groups. God damn it. I just started doing this and I was having a blast doing it too. So that's the part that gets me cranky is I was having a blast doing it. And that's not going to be a fit for other people, right? For other people, they're going to be like, oh God, that's horrible. That sounds absolutely horrible. No way. And that's fine. That's fine. Because guess what? Like I said, 6 months down the road, maybe all of a sudden they've got some confidence. They've got this. They've got met some more people. And they're like, oh, yeah, let's give that a try and see how it feels. That's the beautiful thing about running your own business is you get to try things, see how it works for you, and keep it or ditch it. But we have to get better at ditching things. We absolutely need to get better at ditching things. There are things on your list right now that you don't need to do. They're not bringing you a return on investment or they're not bringing your best return on investment because there's so many things that we could be doing in our business. But if you're not a corporation with different heads of different departments and multiple people in those departments doing those projects for you, you can't ever do all of the things that we should do. Yes, air quotes are flying, should do. So our best bet as entrepreneurs working with smaller teams or no team, maybe you're just working as just you right now, is to grab the things that are going to get you the best return on investment, your best ROI. You don't know what those are until you give them a try. You don't know what those are until you track if they're working. You have to track. So take a look at your social media. If you are putting a ton of time into your social media, go see if you're getting a return on that investment. Go check what are you actually getting back from it. If it's working for you and you like doing it, blow it up. If you like it and it's not bringing you income in traffic or some other way, ditch it or scale it back at least. But if it's not bringing you people to your business, you have to pay attention to, okay, what am I getting out of this? There has to be return on your investment. If all you're getting is pure pleasure, then that's fine, but better pay attention to some other marketing avenue that's actually going to bring you money, the marketing money back. So just take a look at it, play with it, see what you want to do, scale back, scale back. It's so important. Find out what your basics are and do them. Email for me is always a basics. It's always going to be something that I'm going to be pushing any of my clients to be working on. If you are emailing once a week, then that means 4 times a month, minus the ones that you forget, 4 times a month, you're making contact with these people. These people have hundreds of emails in their list. Once a week, they might remember who you are. You might get lucky. 4 times a month, that's going to take you months to make sales. Because, oh gosh, Tracy was just talking about this. We talked about it on the live in the group. Old school contact was like 7 to 10 or something like that. And it's astronomical now for how many contacts we have to make for somebody, right? So you're talking months if you're only emailing once a week. Months before they've got the know, like, trust going on. So pay attention. Email them more. They're on your list because they want to hear from you. They signed up for your list. You didn't make them sign up. They signed up to hear from you. Let them hear from you. I don't want to get in a whole rant about this and that. That's one of the only things that I really believe you have to have in your privacy policies. Your legal pages. Get your legal pages in order as well. Those are a must. Must. Protect your ass. Have those legal pages on there. But figure out what your basics are for marketing and what you like to do. Because if you like to do it, you'll do it more often. And that's the wonderful thing. That's why I've got the podcast, right? I love to talk. And this recording the podcast is fun for me. And it's marketing. So I add that in. I love it. I have fun doing it. It doesn't feel like work. That's crazy. I mean, let's be honest. It doesn't feel like work because I have my podcast manager that does the work part, the icky the part I don't want to do. I just talk. and then send it on. That was my goal before starting it. And that's another thing too. It's like, well, maybe part of your thing is you want to do reels, you want to create some of that, but you don't want to create some of the other stuff for your social media. Make a goal that it's making the return on your investment so that you hire somebody to do the parts of the social media that you don't want to do. So you get to do the fun part. It's fun to pay team members too. It's really fun. Yeah, it's fun. You get stuff done for you. The stuff you don't want to do. Now the squirrel's coming out, didn't it? The squirrel popped out. Figure out what your basics are and blow them up. Stick to the basics. Stick to what's working. Ditch, or if you don't like the word ditch, set aside the things that aren't working and take a look at those stuff that you don't want to do and how important actually is it? Is it going to bring you a return on investment, or is it what you think you're supposed to be doing? What somebody along the lines has told you that you need to get done, that you need to go and do this? Because all of that's bullshit. There's really not a lot of need to do anything in business. If there was one right way to do business, we'd all be running our business that way. So there's obviously not one way because we're all doing our own thing. All have our different brains that work a little bit different and our different experience that we're bringing in as well. So lean into that because that's what's going to make you so different for your people. All right. Before the squirrels pop out, let's go ahead and end this. I do have room for a couple more clients. If this is resonating with you, reach out, contact form, contact me right now. Let's get you on my schedule. Let's see if it's a fit. All right. I will chat at you next week. Bye.